Hello and welcome to the Exchequer Tagging and Consolidating help video. This video actually applies to the Exchequer Sales and Purchase Order Processing module. I'm going to use the Sales module as an example, but everything that I'm doing here can be mirrored exactly in the purchasing side. What this is all about is either tagging and consolidating several orders into one delivery note or several delivery notes into one invoice. I'm going to use these bottom 4 orders as an example, and you'll see that 3 of them go to one account code and another goes to a separate account code. I'm just going to access these sales orders and go and pick them as I normally would do. So I'm just going to use the auto pick option just to pick the transaction lines. Auto pick, incidentally, will pick absolutely all of the transaction lines for that particular transaction, so long as there is actually stock available to do so. Alternatively, you can just manually pick them by double clicking into each line. Now, once I've picked those transactions, the normal next process would be to highlight each one by one and go to daybook process and deliver this order. Now, if you've picked a good, nice sort of sized batch of orders, you may not want to go through them all individually and have to daybook process each one by one. And this is just a way of us being able to do them in a batch, which is obviously saving us time. So what I'm going to use is this tag button over on the right hand side. When you select that, you've got an option to tag or untag the transaction, or to untag all tagged transactions. So at the moment, I'm just going to give it a tag number, and I'm just going to set them all with the same tag number. It doesn't matter what tag number you use. So I'm going to move through them all one by one and give it a tag number. Okay, so these have now all got a tag number of 2 against them. At this stage, I'm going to go to Daybook Process and I'm going to select Deliver Picked Orders. What this does is brings up this separate screen. You can process for that particular tag number. Alternatively, if you didn't tag them, if you just leave that as 0, it will include absolutely everything. So that would deliver all picked orders, whether they have a tag number or not. For the purpose of this exercise, we'll just use tag number 2. You've got a few options here as to whether you want to actually set the transactions to print at the time of processing them or not. Quite useful if you've got a lot of delivery notes to print. I'm not going to tick the print box in this instance because I'm not linked to a printer. At this stage, there is a tick box to convert the sales order directly to a sales invoice if you wish to. And there's also this tick box to consolidate transactions. So this picking is really used as a sort of a dual purpose task. You can use it to bulk deliver a load of orders, but at this stage you can also say consolidate transactions, and what that will do is if there are several orders for the same account, which in our example there are, it will consolidate them into one delivery note. So if I select OK at this stage, we can see that what that has done for us is it's created 2 delivery notes, one for one account and one for another. If I open up this delivery note and use my object drill on the top toolbar, I can see that this delivery note has actually come from 3 separate orders, and that's because we ticked that consolidate option when we were processing them through. It's a similar case when you are progressing your delivery notes to invoice. So again, I might want to tag these transactions and give them a tag number. Again, it doesn't matter what it is. And if I do daybook process and invoice all deliveries, you get the same screen. And again, I'm just going to process my tag number 1 for now. I'm ticking to consolidate transactions. I'm leaving that ticked as default, but of course it isn't going to do any consolidation at this stage because we have 2 delivery notes for 2 different accounts. If we had multiple delivery notes for the same account, it would consolidate them onto one transaction. If I select OK, that has invoiced both of those delivery notes for me immediately and created them on the main daybook here. What you will notice is that it's actually progressed one of those delivery notes from a different account onto the head office account. And that is actually because this is a head office account for the delivery account. So our delivery account here is set to invoice to A head 0. So because we had a delivery note for the delivery account and that is set to invoice to head office, it has actually created the invoice on that head office account for us. And that gives you a brief overview on how to do the tagging and consolidating within Exchequer. But of course, if you've got any questions whatsoever, please don't hesitate to contact our help desk here at HBP Systems.